Yo, YouTube, Warhammer 3 gamers, what's up? Redbeard, back at it again, doing my last little roundup for these start positions, just kind of, reviewing how things have changed from my original predictions, and honestly, a lot. I guess I'm just here to gloat, because a lot of my predictions came true. I mean, I deep dived hard into it, so I'm not surprised at all. But, obviously I was wrong about demons, the greater demons, quite a bit, because they just did a real left field move with those guys. And you can look at my other videos to hear everything from the dwarves and everything prior to the dwarves. So yeah, I'm just going to be talking about the Dark Elves, Vampire Counts, and the non-DLC. Well, I will talk about the DLC later, actually. We'll get into that later. But yeah, the dwarves, the Dark Elves, and the current Warriors of Chaos characters and their positions. So, obviously, first, Dark Elves. Again, as I said in my last video, pretty much everybody landed where I thought. Malekith, Hillebron, Morathi, staying put. Rakarth, Western Lustria. They did, I put him in the Jungles of Green Mist on that little, because there's that Dark Elf settlement right to on those islands, connected to the Jungles of Green Mist. But, they moved him a province one south where Teclis used to be, weird flex, but okay. Lokir over in Cathay, we already knew that. That wasn't like any big thing. I thought they were going to put him in the Broken Lands of Tianli or the Nanchang Basin. Either just to touch in, but also to be just smack dab in the middle of the Riverlands, which would be such a strong position for Lokir to start. But, maybe it'd be too strong for him to start, because he would just, have a kind of a stranglehold over Cathay. And, he's not too far. He can take a little sail south and start going to the Riverlands anyways from where he is. In the Hai Chai, the Plains of Zen, or whatever. Great. Malice... In my original prediction video, I said he, the most loreful spot would be the Northern Chaos Waste, but because of just replayability and gameplay, and just for the fact that he was already in the Sea of Dread in Warhammer 2, I thought they were going to move him most likely to the Demonium Hills, which I guess is just now vacant, unless... one of the DLC characters lands there, which again, we'll talk about that more later. So yeah, that's Dark Elves. Well, I mean, yeah, Malice landing up in the north, though. I actually like that start position more than my prediction of the Demonium Hills. I just thought it was an easy parallel move to move him from the Dragon Isles over to the Demonium Hills. And it would give more coverage for the Dark Elves and all the sea lanes, which now Malice is the only one that isn't all that close to a sea lane. So he might suffer a little bit for that, but I think his start position is really, really cool. I think I'm gonna like that quite a bit. So Vampire Counts. This is a huge. Now this one's a huge gloat. Yeah. So obviously we already knew Vlad and Isabella were gonna take over Sylvania. Heinrich Kemmler staying in the Grey Mountains, of course. And Manfred landed directly in the Shifting Sands where I said he would. Yeah, love it. And then the big one that I predicted, the Haunted Forest. Caravan of Blue Roses, my boy Helman Gorst. Okay? I don't even like Helman Gorst that much, but I predicted the shit out of that starting position, okay? Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. Oh, I guessed the shit out of that. I didn't hear anybody making making that prediction anywhere. Any on the forums, on the content. That was, yep. You're welcome, YouTube. That was all me. Yep. Yeah, that's probably my second most proud prediction. Alberic, I still think is my first. So I went full Charlie Day meme on that one, but this was just the Haunted Forest was just like a really good educated guess, I guess, you know. But yeah, as far as these starting positions go, nice and varied. Again, Hellman, he can take a quick sail over to Nagashazar and take that over for whatever reason. Apparently, it sounds like he's gonna get some sort of mechanic attached to Nagashazar, maybe. But, you know, his faction is also called the Caravan of Blue Roses, so maybe he has a mechanic where he's trying to revive his brothers. You know, maybe he's by the mouth of ruin like Kugath because he's studying plagues, and I don't know what that would have to do with the necromancy and trying to bring his brothers back, but maybe he's just trying to learn about the Plague of Blue Roses for some reason, I don't know, and has a mechanic attached to that. Maybe having control of Nagashazar will help, or like key necromantic locations will help him figure out how to revive his brothers, and maybe his brothers can, I don't know, maybe he can get a unique model of his cart with his brothers. I mean, we've already seen his model, and it just looked the same from all the content creators that when the embargo it dropped yesterday. But I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what his unique mechanic is going to be. If there is one, which I think there is, but I don't know. But yeah, Manfred fighting for the Books of Nagash right next to Volkmar, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That's awesome, man. Really like that. Right next to the Black Pyramid. Cetra. I think Cetra and Manfred probably won't get along. But Volkmar and Manfred are definitely not going to get along. I think Manfred, sitting right there, is kind of surrounded by enemies, possibly with Thoric, Volkmar. He's got the Wood Elves right to the south. You could probably make friends with Cetra. You know, Cetra is one of the, and Tomb Kings are one of those like neutral factions that can go anyway. You know, so yeah. I predicted the shit out of that, guys. I predicted the shit out of that. But yeah, on to the Warriors of Chaos. So, pretty much everybody landed where I thought. Be'lakor, Isle of Wights, Albion. Yep, we knew he was going there. Predicted Sigvald. I mean, they said the Northern Waste, but, you know, with Nakari not in the Palace of Princes, who's Slaaneish's #1 prince? Of course he would land in the Palace of Princes. Then there's Archaon, which I thought maybe like the Skull Road, Blood Marshes, Kadatha area would lend to a DLC character, because the Northern Wastes, I mean, the Inevitable Fortress, where he, like, in lore, gathers all his forces, is deep in the Northern Wastes. But, I did notice that, like, Kadatha in particular is, like, a landlocked area in the Chaos Way, so I thought maybe it could be there. But I guess he's in the quote-unquote Writhing Fortress in the Blood Marshes, I think. I mean, I hope he's not in it almost looks like he's in the Bloodfire Falls, but Boris is in that province, so I hope not. But yeah, Archaon, Writhing Fortress. I guess that's close enough to the inevitable fortress or whatever. Yeah, and that lends similarly to his old start position, which I like. I just thought they were gonna move him, but I don't know. So but that's the only one I got wrong. So for the the current Warriors of Chaos, well, I guess I was a little off with Kolak. I didn't think he was gonna start in the Chimera Plateau. That just sounds like such a Tzeentch province. The Stone Sky, Foothills, and the Ancient Giant Lands. Those provinces sound like Golek. But I guess he's in the Chimera Plateau. That's the same area we knew he was going to be in, the north of the Mountains of Morn. So, yeah, not much else to say about any of these, other than that, your boy got most of them right. But yeah, on to some other news that's been unfolding. So in the Q&A video, CA did a quote-unquote oops and basically leaked the new the new DLC lords on themselves, because the names of their factions completely give away who they are. And I don't see any of the big channels for Warhammer 3 talking about this, probably because they're on NDAs and embargoes and shit, and can't explicitly confirm, without legally breaking some terms. But I am not a big channel, so I can absolutely talk about who they are, because I know exactly who they are now. And one of them is really interesting, because in my 4-champ DLC video, did not go over him because he's a demon prince, but more to that. So if you look at the image, there is the Ecstatic Legion. So the Ecstatic Legion is a very obvious giveaway to Azazel, Slaanesh champion, who is the captain of the Ecstatic Legions. So it's Azazel. So yeah, for those who don't know, Azazel is a very old demon prince of Slaanesh. In fact, he was once a follower of Sigmar, so that's how old he is. But yeah, did not expect a demon prince in this pack. Because technically demon princes are mortals. We got Bellicor in the Warriors of Chaos now, so I guess I should have seen it coming, but I just thought there was other options that might fit it more. But now there's going to be 2 Slaanesh characters in the Warriors of Chaos. So CA, I fully expect one more character for each god besides Slaanesh in the Warriors of Chaos roster. Okay, this is not a debate. Okay, you can't just have 2 Slaaneshi characters in the Warriors of Chaos and one for the other mono gods. Okay, you just confirmed for me that there's going to be a Khorne, a Nurgle, and a Tzeentch character eventually, and I already know who my votes are. It's Egrim von Horseman, Gut Rot Spume, and Arbal the Undefeated. Okay, we better get that. I demand it. You have Sigvald and Azazel now in Warriors of Chaos, and you're not gonna. It's off balance. So we're gonna need more characters in Warriors of Chaos for the other mono gods. Eventually, maybe as FLC down the road. Anyways, Azazel. As far as I don't know how he worked in tabletop, or if he had rules in tabletop, but I don't think he's a caster. He's basically he's a Slaaneshi demon prince, so kind of what you might expect if you dedicated to Slaanesh with the demon prince formerly known as Yuri. The only thing really in his lore that hints to like mechanics for him is that he's like he's got one of the most intoxicating aromas of temptation, and like can whisper at the highest of will-powered people, and tempt them into pleasure and pain, as Slaanesh does. But yeah, for the other 3 factions that are dead giveaways as well, as I talked about in my 4 Champs DLC prediction video, Festus the Leech Lord is known as the Fecuntide. So, there's a faction right there named the Fecuntides. So, it's Festus. Next, we have the, the Legion of the Gore Queen. As I discussed in the video, that same video, Valkia the Bloody is known as the Gore Queen. So, Valkia the Bloody, and then again, as I talked about in that video, Village is known as the Master of Misrule. So the puppets of Misrule, that's 100% Village. So, like, for anybody watching this, like, it's like 100% confirmed by that quote unquote oops. I don't know why they would give it away, but that just seems like such an obvious oversight that it seems too unlikely that they would let that slip through. But I also don't know why they would give it away like that. I don't know. But yeah, the 4 Champs pack, telling you right now, it's Azazel for Slaanesh, Festus for Nurgle, Valkia for Khorne, Village for Tzeentch. Obviously, they're all under the quote-unquote Warriors of Chaos banner, but they'll all, again, we now know that the Warriors of Chaos is not exactly the Warriors of Chaos. It's whatever CA needs it to be, basically. It's demons, demons and warriors all mixed together, however each faction wants to play, which I'm fine with. Not how I think many of us thought it was going to go, but totally fine with, as long as they play the way they should with the mono god mechanics that they deserve, even if it's in the Warriors of Chaos. So yeah, as I've done in my previous videos, I've gone ahead and taken the liberty of throwing some predictions as far as placement and starting positions. Now, there was some confusion in my last roundup video. Any of those boxes that any of those banners that have black boxes around them, I put in there. So they should not be considered final. My guess is, since it is Friday, that we'll go the weekend with and we just had the Q&A, and now we had the final current Warriors of Chaos start position reveal. We won't hear any news till next week. Probably won't even hear anything Monday, but Tuesday we'll get a trailer for the 4 DLC characters and their start positions, would be my guess. Especially with this leak, it's just about a month beforehand. It might be a little early for a trailer, but I also think we're gonna get a series of trailers. So I think we're gonna get 1 trailer for the DLC. Next week we'll get the trailer for either the DLC or the Warriors of Chaos rework, and then the week after that, whichever those doesn't come next week, and then the week after that, another bigger Immortal Empires trailer. Which that second Immortal Empires trailer, because we already got 1. The second Immortal Empires trailer will probably be like a more detailed video with like the main bits of like gameplay that have changed. It might be like a 5-10 minute video with that this is Total War voiceover, funny sounding guy. yeah, so 3 trailers I expect we'll get, you know, following this hype train, because now the starting locations are over. The embargo, the first embargo just dropped with the content creators, but they got to keep the hype train rolling. So I suspect they'll probably be starting this coming Tuesday, Newsday, a trailer every week until Immortal Empires releases. So yeah, so as far as the placement, this is where I'm pretty sure these characters will probably end up. We'll probably have Valky in the Iron Frost Glacier. So lorefully, she does plenty of fighting with the Dark Elves. Sigvald is to the east, so we have a nice Khorne versus Slaanesh start there. And that northwestern corner of the map is currently vacant, so nice spot for her. Eastern Steppes is vacant right now. There's no pressure on the Great Bastion, so somebody's got to go there, and it makes sense for a Tzeentch character, right? Chianchi and all that business over in Cathay. Change her ways, messing up my boys in the east. So makes a whole bunch of sense for Village to go there. Festus, again, his lore is all situated around Altdorf and Nordland, and I mean, he does venture to the north to the Chaos Wastes, but I mean, it just makes a whole lot of sense for him to start in the Middle Mountains, right, you know, where he operates, or at least near where he operates lawfully. And then for Azazel, literally the only lore that places him anywhere is before he was even a demon prince. So again, as I said, Azazel is super old. So this lore, he basically, his people lived in Reichland back when he was a follower of Sigmar. But as far as like when he's a demon prince, I don't know of any lore that places him anywhere exactly. So the only other spot on the map that's really empty is the southern Chaos Waste, particularly the east side. So the Demonium Hills, is Azazel there? Makes a whole bunch of sense to me. But yeah, to address, so I had made an Archaon rework video, and in part of that, a big part of that was Dorgar, who just needed a facelift, and you know, we know that the Chaos Ponies were getting a relift, or a facelift as well. Well, now that the embargo's dropped, we've seen from the content creator, big channels, that the Chaos Ponies are no more. I think it's like, what's his face, Indie Pride, Milk and Cookies, Total War, put it, they're now Chaos Clydesdales. They're huge. They're like twice the size of the Imperial horses, which is amazing. And looking closer at their remodels, they have like sharp teeth and horns, and Dorgar even has like spikes on his legs and stuff. So yeah, they are now full-on demonic steeds. Chaos War horses are no more. I mean, they might still be called Chaos War horses and not demonic steeds, but they're basically demonic steeds now, which is amazing. I'm so happy about it. No, I still hope when we learn more about the content that the Chimera is a unit, and that Dorgar can become a Chimera as well, and that the Dorgar's form of the Chimera will be kind of like how the Dorgar's steed version right now is to the Chaos steed. It's, even though the Chaos steed is a big bad demonic steed looking now, Dorgar's still bigger and badder looking. So that's what I would want for the Chimera version of Dorgar. The Chimera unit or mount would look crazy, but Dorgar's version would look insane, and would be insane. I mean, that would be the real mount of the Everchosen. But I do really appreciate what they've done with Dorgar as far as I've seen so far. And then the other part from my Archaon rework is that getting that facelift as far as the spells. Now we don't know what his skill tree or his spell skill trees look in campaign yet, but we know what his lore line, what he's got as far as spells in at least custom battles, which now he can use death, fire, and metal, which is great. I still wish he had Zinch and Shadow, at least one spell to represent those. But that's what we have modders for. I'll mod it in myself if I have to. So, yeah. Definitely a big old step in the right direction. Don't think the spells made it all the way there, though, unfortunately. But we still haven't seen what it looks like in campaign, so hold that thought a little bit. But yeah, he as far as the spells, I didn't write it down, but Spirit Leech from Death. He's got two from each. Spirit Leech from Death, a debuff. Then he's got for Metal. He's got Searing Doom, which hell yes. Because that is just such an Archaon feeling spell. And yeah, Metal and Death, all the spells got their aesthetics reworked. So you should go check out the big content creators if you haven't seen that yet. But I'm sure if you're at my channel, you've probably already seen it. But Purple Son of Xerxes, that was like my next go-to when I was picking my skill lineup after Flamestorm. Kind of disappointed we don't get to see Flamestorm, but Purple Sun works just fine. We still get Burning Head, which is the other kind of quintessential Archaon fire spell. So I'm not all the way happy with his spell, his mixed spells. Again, he's missing two of the lores, or representation from two of the lores at least. So we'll see how it goes in campaign, though. So we'll hold the thought. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's still shaping. So that's all for now. Farewell, my friends, and I wish you all the luck in the world.